Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Click the subscribe button. When you subscribe, we'll be able to get across to other people, to benefit from the videos that will be sharing premium content around cybersecurity related matter and how to navigate cybersecurity, even as a newcomer or as an enthusiast, somebody that is just transitioning into cybersecurity. Not only that, you'll be able to have access to videos that will help you in your career journey in cybersecurity. So help us to propagate this and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that every time we upload new videos, you'll be able to get the notification that the new video is up, right? Subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start. Like I said, my name is Francisca. So our first speaker is here. Let me just do a brief introduction before he starts his talk. So his name is Timothy Akande. He's a solution-driven IT and security professional who is proficient in enterprise systems and network security administration. He is strategic and analytical with an organized approach and aptitude for infrastructure management. Is highly effective at problem solving and decision making, critical thinking, and is also an enthusiastic. So Timothy, you can go ahead and start.
Okay, good evening everyone. Okay, as said, my name is Timothy Akande. So they pretty much said a lot about me. So like my head is big now, so I have to defend what they said about me. So okay, so I'm a cybersecurity consultant and is penetration tester. So this evening, okay, we're looking at leveraging OSINT for website investigation. Just a quick introduction into what OSINT is and what OSINT is about. Sorry, I didn't make a slide for this meeting, so rather I did like what should I call it? I did a Notion note, so probably I will send it to Mr. Segun. Okay, before I continue, I'm grateful for the opportunity given to me by Mr. Segun and the Digital Security Village to anchor this and give the speech and a walkthrough actually on leveraging OSINT. OSINT actually means open source intelligence. So hope everyone can hear me. So I'm sure I'm not speaking to myself.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
And you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, we can see your
Yes.
screen.
Okay. So so let me majorly OSINT actually, yes, it might look as though it's not a cybersecurity thing, or it might look like more of a little bit niche. It's a niche actually in cybersecurity. And cybersecurity is a very wide scope. It entails a lot of things that like if we have to uncover it, it's actually very huge. You have AppSec, you have what's it called? You have AppSec, you have you have pen testing, you have OSINT. People actually get job doing OSINT. That's majorly what they do. So that means it's a very wide scope and it's very broad. So you just have to know where you want to function in, and you have to know it very well. So in
Hello,
said,
sir. Sorry to interrupt your presentation. Please, it's like you share the whole of your screen. That's why it's causing that mirroring. Your screen is mirroring. I don't know if you can share only the browser so that it will not mirror. Please. Your screen is mirroring. Yes, sir.
Okay, then give me some minutes. Then I will have to switch. I was using my notes is actually on. Okay, give me some minutes. Let me try to fix that. Continue introducing us to OSINT as I started already. So when it comes to open source intelligence just means using information online to better get understanding of anything you want to get information about. So you can use OSINT for let's say you can do people investigation. Like a typical example of it is that, let's say one of the night said earlier that you can get a job as an OSINT. So majorly what you'll be doing is that you help people make a research of any given website. So you are trying to see, let's say, for example, if you are a journalist now, every journalist have to verify the story they want to post. So you don't just go ahead and post any picture or article without doing a thorough background check. So that's one of the things that OSINT now you do as a journalist. Your part of your work is to verify the information you are going to post and to see if it's very valid and correct, so that you can actually get into trouble posting something that is not correct. So majorly, so open source, the word open source is not new today. Open source, there's open source common among developers, whereby you are cloning a repository, you are writing code, you are uploading it. Your own might not be writing code. You might not like to write code. You might not like to be the one doing all those work, but you might just say, okay, you want to stay on the niche of saying you want to do OSINT, that is open source intelligence. That means you go online, you get information online, and more now detailed towards what you want to use the information for. So I will see some example of that this evening. So OSINT as as I said earlier, OSINT as well is a very wide scope. And then, okay, let me give this what's it called, disclaimer. Everything we're teaching here is for educational purpose, because actually when it comes to OSINT, there's a very small line between doing OSINT and being a cyber stalker, meaning you can pretty get information about someone. Like I saw a video whereby somebody did a detail of how someone was killed because the person posted a picture, just a picture. That means you actually today the internet is very wild, and it's a very large scope. So you have to be very careful what you post, when you post it, like the tags. You see people go for an event, you give all the details, you post it on Instagram. Yes, it's good to post on Instagram, but you are currently where you are posting, then you are tagging your location at the same time. So like you are giving out too much information. That's how to put it. So, and looking at it, so also I think there was someone who posted a picture on Twitter. I think that was few weeks ago. Yes, few weeks ago. So the person posted the picture. So when I saw the picture, I just said, let me try what I know on this particular picture. So I did OSINT on the picture. I was able to get the hotel the person was staying in. I was able to get the location, how the setting is, and let's say if I have the say I want to go more into details, I could have chosen to do more of, let's say, get the person's room and every other thing just by doing OSINT. So that just shows that when it comes to OSINT, or then that is part of what I was saying. So when it comes to OSINT just falls back to using the information that is available online and using it to gain what you want. So like you are detailing it to get exactly what you want. So you're trying to use what you have, just like using what you have to get what you want. So let me change it. This is not ethical hacking. We're not hacking anything yet here. So it's OSINT. So open source intelligence. So majorly this is what we're going to be discussing in full details using. So as I said earlier, so let me give this illustration of what happened to me just few weeks ago. I think that was just probably a month ago now. Someone introduced me to a website. It's like a crypto signal providing platform, something like that. So they give you like, know how they give signals now. They give you the entry point, then they give you the selling point, and pretty much for like a week plus, 2 weeks plus. So I started with $50. So into it, probably a week later, the money is already close to like 60 something dollars. So that means their prediction was actually really well, like it was no loss, it was going well. But then I just thought to myself that, okay, yes, $50 might not be much, but if that money should go away, I can use that money to eat. I can use that money to do a lot of things that will make big benefits. So I was like, okay, let me do OSINT on this particular platform and the people at the background. So then I checked online. Everything that was coming back looks so vague. It looks so, one thing about OSINT is you are trying to see from every information online, then you will now be the one to determine if this is valid or not based on the information that you see and you get. So I looked at all the information. So it looks like a Ponzi scheme. Actually, it looks like, what is this? So then I went ahead. Out of my 60 something dollar at the time, I withdrew $50 at least. I withdrew my capital to be on the safer side. So I just noticed one morning they just posted on the platform, on the website, that they will be stopping Nigerians and UAE users from trading on the platform. Anything like that brings panic, especially where we're in Nigeria. So I don't know. I think we have more people all over the different countries on this call, but then this is just using a typical illustration of, because we've witnessed a lot of things around this for a while. So we are quite how should I put it, conscious of it. So the moment they brought it up like that, I called my friend that introduced me down. My friend, go and withdraw your money, because she still had about $70 plus there. So we're able to get ours out, but unfortunately they gave, and the problem was now that they gave a deadline for people to withdraw their money. So unfortunately, some people were unable to get their money. So that just falls back to the line of saying that, one of the reasons why we need OSINT today is because you do a lot of things online, you have to be very much aware of what you are doing, and OSINT is part of what will help you to better make a good decision and to make your decision right. So that's my story, just a refresher story. So now let's get into what we have. So if you have any question along the line, you can drop it in the comments box, or you can just hold it to the end of the talk. It just going to be very brief, not too long. So then we'll talk about the questions. So this is like a pictorial view of what you do when you are doing OSINT. So this is just like saying the different ways that you can use to get what you want to do, to get it done. So now let's say I'm trying to zoom this in so that you can see it clearly. Okay, so now you see we have WHOIS page, we have websites. It's just more of, we'll see a practical knowledge of everything here. So I said I'll share this notes. So this picture, I'll give you resources of where this picture was taken from, so that you can get access to there are a lot of resources on OSINT. There's a lot of resources. So okay, so I wanted to mention as well that OSINT is not only restricted to websites. It's not just websites alone. It's very wide. You can do people OSINT. There's social media OSINT. There's dark web OSINT. Actually, you can just focus on dark web. Let's say you see, like, that is, for example, the way they got Hush Puppy was actually from OSINT. They saw a trail of posting pictures a lot. Then they just mapped it out and started following it. There are tools that you can actually use to map out image. You know, when you watch movie and you see somebody is putting a pin to a paper to the wall, dragging line to touch another one, to touch another one. You can actually do that with some applications. Let's say, for example, Multigo. Multigo can give you a wide scope of what is being done. You can just use it to get informations and you move from there. So, but today we are just majorly focusing on websites, and more of that is because, you know, you use websites, you use web page, web apps, mobile apps, and all those stuff a lot today. And for let's say you are using it for financial purposes, you have to be very sure of what you are using, and you have to be very sure of how to better understand what is being done on the site. And you know, it's very easy to clone the site today. You can just use a one tool and you clone the whole site and just change a letter and boom, you have a phishing link. So that's one of the reasons why you have to understand how to investigate the sites and do a detail. So these are some of the tools that you can use. I've used some of them, or probably most of them here. So so this stuff will be better explained when we start the practical. So let me just jump into practical. So I have like some I asked Mr. Segun for if there's any like sites he wants us to practice with. So there's a kind of resources that was made available. So I saw some link there that are very vulnerable, or they were tagged as what's it called? They're tagged as scam. So we'll just look at them in details and see what they have and what they are actually about. So if you have any website as well that you might want us to investigate, you can drop it in the comments. So that will be so that you don't think the ones I have was what I went to clone, because yeah, it can happen. But then if you have any, you can just drop it so that you can work with it. So can you see my screen presently and what I'm typing?
Yes, we can
yes,
see.
we can.
Okay, so I want to open a site. There's a site. Okay. So this is osintframework.com. So this site, there's a lot of, this site actually does a lot of things. So this is what this is talking about is, let's say, you know, majorly. So okay, let me go back to the previous slide and the previous my notes. So I wrote out some things here. So these are like a step of how to do what you want to do when it comes to OSINT. The actual thing is, number one, you have to state your goal. You have to know what you are trying to get to done. You must, because yes, by the time you start your OSINT, you might just miss out, okay, what am I even trying to do? What am I trying to achieve? So that means you must first state what you are trying to achieve, which means you can just know, okay, I'm trying to get who owns this website. I currently give myself a challenge. I don't want to disclose the challenge yet until I am done. I'm trying to find the face of somebody. So when it's out, I'm going to post it. So that is a personal challenge actually. So there are some OSINT challenge whereby you are doing investigating people, investigating a location. There's geo OSINT, like find the location of a place. They'll just give you a picture, and you now have to sit down with the picture, look into the picture, and bring out information about it. So I said, identify the questions that need to be answered, identify the platform you need to access, collect first, then analyze later. That means the more you can gather, the more you can analyze on. So then start broad, then you're now bringing it down. So this start broad is the part I wanted to show you with this website. So this website, let's say you've gathered information about somebody, you have their username, you can go through their username. This, okay, when you click on this gives you extra things you can do. Also, let's say you have an email, you can check their email, search if the email is correct, like search some sites. So you can do user enumeration on the person's email to see what kind of platform are they using. So you can do this domain name. Let's say if you have a website name You can do who is on them. So this particular domain name and IP address, these two are majorly part of what we use when we are talking about websites OSINT, because you need, once you have a domain name is just a www.google.com, www.facebook.com. That's a domain name. So you can input it into check their who is means who registered the site, who did the work behind the site, who is the hosting, who hosted it, which platform is it hosted on. You can get information about that. So we won't go through all of them. You can go through them at your leisure time. So let's say, okay, so back to, I said we are going to analyze a site. This is the two sites here. So I made them both. So this is, we'll analyze these two. So okay, so let me open the first one. So now this is the first one. Okay, it's taking some time to load. So why this is loading, so let's start with who is. From here we see, and let me close this side. Okay, so from the who is record, you can just click on it, see there's a lot of things to use, but then let's just go to Google directly. There's whois.com. So it's automatically gives you information about the target. It gives you information about what they do, and you can be able to analyze them from there. So now you see, this is where you search. You search from this upper one. Let me go back to the main site. So this, you don't use this one. This one is, let's say you want to buy a domain name and you want to see if the domain name is still available for you to buy. So you can input it here, but we don't need that. This one, we are using this particular aspect. You see, when it comes to OSINT, actually, OSINT is like normal information online. Just they are really normal informations. But people can be very careless in posting informations and pictures and everything. So that's why I said everything we are doing is for educational purpose, because there's a very thin line between becoming a stalker and saying you are doing OSINTs. You can't. If you've watched the movie You before, why owe you? Why owe you? So I think one of the things the guy did in that movie, I didn't really watch a lot of it, but then one of the things the guy did was using online activities to stalk a lady. So that means if I can say, okay, because I want to know you, I can just go online, search. People post a lot of things. I think okay, this is by the way, we had some activities we're doing, and we are trying to get a BVN for a test. And imagine we went to Twitter of all place and we search for BVN on Twitter and with account number, and we see, and boom, we see somebody's BVN and account number on Twitter. Imagine somebody posts something like that. People go for giveaway, which is not bad. Yes, we all need money, obviously, but we should be conscious of how we post our stuff, give out informations, because those informations can be like just a little bit like, one of the things when you are doing ethical hacking now, for example, they say you do information gathering, which is part of OSINT. So you can just say you take somebody's you just go to, let's say, a company's name, you go online, go to LinkedIn, search about them, you see where people post their badge picture. I'm happy to announce I'm just resuming work at Google. Yes, I'm still going there. So then from posting it like that, I automatically have how Google do their badge. That means it's easy for me to clone it and walk towards the door and do tailgating. If they ask me where's my badge, I show them a badge. So obviously they might not there's even a length you can go with all this stuff. So that means we must be very conscious of how we post information. So let's go back to this who is you see this particular aspect, registrants, contacts. see it's giving out information. You see it's giving out information. This is an address already. So let's say we are doing this, I can just copy this, and put it in a, okay, let me open, okay, let me just the other page I was in. Okay, let me just so I can put this here, then let me add the address. Then there's the Google Map as well, can be used for hosting. So we'll see that as well. The stuff I said I used in getting the address of where a person was, what I actually used was Google Map to see the location, to see how the place looks like and everything. So there's not actually a lot of resources online. So what you are doing is just making use of what is online. So and you okay, so I think that is pretty much the information we have about them here. So another thing when it comes to doing OSINT is after you look at the whois record, what they are talking about, you actually, we are doing website investigation. You actually go into the website, then just scroll through it, see what there is written on it. You can actually do what is it called now? You can do a search on the informations on the site, yes. Because for example, now some people just, since it's a cloned website, some people just copy this information from one other place, just post it here. So I think I was researching a plugin that can do that. Okay, let me see if it's okay. Let's see if this will work or bring anything up on this particular site. This is Crowd Tango. Is a, what's it called? Is a plugin. Crowd Tango extension. Yeah. So you can actually use it for getting, I think it's loading, it takes some time. So let's just keep scrolling through while that is loading. So they talk about what they do. This, but for example, this is a blockchain kind of stuff. And when it comes to Bitcoin, for example, there's a lot of scam all around it, because apart from the fact that you can't, because the moment you transfer money, the coin out, there are really a lot of layers before you can say you want to get to trace the person who is behind it. Like, so that it's the whole also and puzzle behind it is just a lot. So that is one of the reasons why you have to be very, because look at all the information there's, anybody can just copy this information from online and just build the website on it. So then one of the things when it comes to Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency trading or investing in anything, the best thing you can do is to read their white paper. For example, this is their white paper here. You see, they said download white paper. So you can download their white paper. White paper explains what they do, what their site is about, what their blockchain stuff is trying to solve. So that's what that's about. So, but majorly when it comes to websites, majorly one of the sweet parts about a website, okay, I think this is loading, this is asking me to log in, that will be later then. So one of the things about websites is, the sweet part is just go to themes. Let's say for example, when it comes to Bitcoin or this stuff, either you go to their themes page or you go to their contact page, their theme page. Okay, look at this one. This is a theme. So one thing that makes this aspect interesting is that you have a name, you have a LinkedIn link connected to it. So that means we can actually go the length, go to LinkedIn, go and check them, because you are trying to prove if they are real or not. So that means you also put the effort to go through the length. So now let me start with clicking this link. Let's see if this brings anything up. So this is loading. Let me just, okay. Let me go back. Let me open all of them in a new tab so that does not get to delay us. So don't forget, if you have any question, you can just send this to the group. So you see, we have a lot of teams here. So we just open them in new tab. Okay, open in a new tab. Open a new tab. Or another easy way to do it is to just open LinkedIn. LinkedIn can make because if you are majorly if you are dealing with financial stuffs or any critical stuff, you can actually use Google, LinkedIn, because a lot of company have what is it called now? A lot of company build their they have people working for them, and they usually post them online. So based on the fact that people post it online, you can just make use of LinkedIn to do OSINT as well, to do people, because that means one of the things I wrote here in my notes is that you can actually move from website OSINT. You can move from website OSINT to people OSINT. So that means from the website you are trying to trace, what I said, you gather all the information you can get, then you now start to work down through that, what you narrow it down. So that means from having a website, you can get who are the people working in this company, who are the people working on this site, or who are the teams on this thing, or who is their contacts. For example, contact can give you a name of a person, an address of a person. So you can use the name or the address to trace down, okay, are they really legit? Because, for example, Google can show you the building structure. If there's a name tag on it, that can help to tell you, okay, if these people are actually real or not. Then we're still going back to Google, because Google, they always say Google is your friend. So, and Google is very wide and very big. So you see, it says this page does not exist. That means for this particular guy, that's for this guy, yeah, this Joseph Robin is saying the link they added does not exist. So let me copy the name and go to LinkedIn and post the name. Let me see. Are we going to have anything come back? Okay. See, we have something. Let me open all the list. I can't see anything that has to do with that picture actually. And then another thing you can actually do as well, saying we are going the length, is we can actually copy this image, then do a image search. Like that was what I was saying. The internet is very wide. You can actually find literally anything you want to see. So I think Yandex can do image search. Okay, let me just, so this guy does not come back on LinkedIn. So this is the second person. The second person is still loading. So let me go back again. So look at this particular guy as well. You can just copy their name, just take it to LinkedIn. Let's look at the guy. This guy actually came back up on LinkedIn, but it did not have anything to do with this particular website. That means that, on LinkedIn you will post what you do, like the places you work with. The guy had nothing coming up on him. So I think this is okay. This is one of the guys. So if you look at his job role, the places he has worked in, there's nothing that has to do with that particular stuff we're looking at. See, the second person I just opened now says the guy does not exist. So that means we've checked like 3 people now. That clearly shows you that they have a fake team. That means the teams are not actually real. Like they don't have people who like are actually working for them. They just went on LinkedIn to copy a picture, copy someone's name, and had it and say this person is working in our team. So for me, from looking at this part of it, I'm already having a red flag on it. But then let's go to the contact page. Okay, look at the contact page. There's no address. We don't know where there's nothing about, okay, this is where we generate from. This is what we, like nothing, like literally nothing. So if anything should happen, you will just vanish into the thin air. nowhere to find you, no one to question, because we don't even know. They say this is their core team. We check this guy on LinkedIn, it's not there. This guy is not on LinkedIn. This particular one too, nothing came up on him. So how do you expect us to know if they are real without having their information online? So that just shows that something is just skeptical about it. So that just shows that something is skeptical about it, and something that we need to flag and check to. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, look at this one as well. We can as well go down through the lists, checking this. Okay, what did they say the guy does? Say the guy is a blockchain, a full stack developer. So looking at all that we have here, there's nothing about him doing what they said he does. There's nobody like that here. So I would have loved us to do image search, but I think Yandex is not coming up. Yeah, we can't exhaust all the list of what we can do when it comes to OSINTs, because it's really very wild. So let me just jump on the second. So for this one, I'll just flag it as false, because the teams is not real and there's no contact telling us about them the more, or about the people behind it, an address, where do they generate from. So then they might say because it's a Bitcoin, a blockchain development, and that's why they're not putting their out. They don't want to put themselves out a lot. But then either way, their teams should be at least real enough for us to be able to get information about it. So this is another one. This is also a Bitcoin, a blockchain related site too. So the first thing is to do a who is on it. So copy, paste it, then search. So this one came back with a see their information. Client delete prohibition. So we don't have much information about them. So it says retarded for privacy. So usually, normally, you're supposed to redact your information, because if those information are out there, somebody can just use the information. You can just get the information and do. Let's say the name of your website registrar is online registrant. I can do a phishing against the guy. The guy clicks the link. I have access to his own laptop. From getting access to his own laptop, I can get access to the credentials of the hosted website and take over it. So, just a lot of things can happen. So I think that's one of the reasons why you should redact your website if you are a developer or you are a operations guy. So that's just like by the way. So this one we don't have much information here, but then we can just go back to the site itself. One thing I said, you go to the site. So looking at it for partners who should give us some more information. I think it's on the same side. Okay. So you can just scroll through, go through them. We have a contact us here. So that means we can check that as well. So you can just go down. Okay, it says join our partner. So they are saying they said this person gave a review about them. So you can take this name, from websites OSINT to people OSINT. So you can take this person's name. If you search it online, obviously this name will come back with somebody. But now let's do Google search. So I'll search the guy's name. Then, okay, let me put it. I'm using a quote. This is what they call this Google docking. So just to make your search more specific. So now the name of the platform here is change now. So I will just add change now also to this search, so that okay. So see, this one came up. This is their site. So, but we didn't see any other place where this guy spoke about this company, where he gave a review about them. So that means you have to just go online, search the person's name. I can't see anything that looks like the guy spoke about change now, because anybody can just copy I can just say that Dangote say that my company is good, and I can say, what's his name? Elon Musk just sign an agreement with me to bring the next star, this star network they want to bring to Nigeria. I can just build a site and say Elon Musk has signed an agreement with me. He's going to work with me together in Nigeria. Send money so that you I can say you should pre-order. Then you think I'm working with Elon Musk for you. Then send money. Then I jackpot with your money. So that means you have to just carefully check through the website. So another thing I said about website is the contact us page. Contact us page gives you some information. Now there are some okay, so this one gives us access to their social media handles. So we can go ahead and check their social media handle to see what was there. So my time is almost up. So to check what is there, so it's just like to just put it in a simple term. See, they have a lot of followers here, but you have to search and see if they are very legit or there are people like people can buy followers online. That's another thing you should know about when it comes to Twitter or any social page. Then check the when it was created. So okay, so I'll be rounding it up here. Think we pretty much touch a lot of things. So I'll drop this particular page, so you can go ahead and read about Google Docking, how to use Google for more searches and every other thing. So that will be that about that. So if you have any question, so let me give room for questions now. Yes, I will share the Notion documents with Mr. Segun, so he will be the one to get it across to everyone. That's Oyeka. Okay, someone said, can I give you a recap of what I did? So I said, when you are doing a OSINT on a website, check the website, check the website, check what the site is doing, check what they are using the site for, and from there, check the contact page, the Teams page, and see what they do and what is being used for, so that you can be able to get a better information about it. Okay, so as well, so I'm going to take you guys through reporting strategy. Okay, so when it comes to reporting strategy, just means how to better report what you are doing. So it just as simple as saying, because for example, now when you do OSINT, let me take a minute. I think I'll start that in some moments. Let me try to. I see a question here. It says internet. Okay, yes. As well, you can use there's different tools to go back in time. For example, somebody can post a tweet now, delete the tweet, but you can they will say this statement that you can't really delete anything online. So the information you deleted is still online. The information you deleted is still available. You can still recover the information you deleted. I can go online, search online, and still get access to the informations that you posted online. So it's just as simple as saying that just go for way back. I think there's a way back extension on Chrome. You can use that to get information about the site, when the site started, what are they posted before, was there a deletion at any point in time? So you can use that as well. So thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for that. So you can use, there's a lot of, OSINT is very wide, very, very wide. So just as much as how far do you want to go? That is just the question. So, okay, so about reporting. So, it's just as simple as saying that you need to be able to get, how do I put it now? When it comes to reporting, because you have to be, when you do OSINT, you are still going to need to generate a report. and submit a report on what you do. It's not just about, for example, I spoke about that you can get a job doing OSINT. So, but nobody just want to hire you for what you did not do or what you didn't show. You have to know, they will say that when it comes to digital work, you have to be able to show, how do I put this now? You have to be able to show a portfolio to defend what you say you can do. So, for example, now if I'm a OSINT investigator, for example, I think I did a search about OSINT. Okay, let me just show you that. Let me show you. Let me share my screen again. Okay. So I just want to show you that yes, you can actually get a job doing OSINT. So okay. Okay, so look at osintjobs.com. So I mean, from here you can see that this one says senior security operations analyst. You see what they are still going to be doing is OSINT at the back end. So look at this one. This one is geo. This one is talking about a location. So let's say for example now, so in doing OSINT, when it comes to reporting about any virtually everything in cybersecurity requires you to do a report. If you are doing GRC, government governance, what's the full meaning again now? Sorry about that, I've forgotten. I don't really do GRC a lot. So if you are doing GRC, if you are doing SOC, if you are doing pen testing, if you are doing what is this called now? If you are doing third party and risk analysis, there's just a lot of things. AppSec, anything you are doing in cybersecurity, even if it's physical security, how to break into a building, you will still have to generate a report. So I think the major thing about cybersecurity is that you should first get familiar with how to do reports. You must just set your mind to it that no matter how, I will do reports. So you should know that you should be able to do reports. So one of the things about doing reports is number one, number one is you must be able to present your evidence. For example, you cannot just tell me, this site is fake. How do you know? For example, now if I'm going to that particular site I opened the other time, so if I'm going to state that, okay, this one, I'm going to state that this site has a fake team, that the teams are not real. I will just let me go to the teams again, to the guys on their team aspects. They have a lot of stuff on this particular site. Like, how can you be scrolling and you've not gotten to the page yet? So now let's say I click on this particular one, then it brings up this one. I allow it to load. Then once it brings page does not exist like this. So I take a screenshot. You can either use Windows Shift X. It gives you access to take a screenshot. So you can take a screenshot. Your screenshot should contain your header page, this part of the page. Okay, can you guys see my screenshots? Can you see if I'm making a screenshot? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can, sir.
Okay, so now in taking screenshots, you take with the header, with the browser header. Yeah, you should be conscious of the pages you have opened as well, so that you don't give out sensitive information to other people who are not part of the people you want to give information to. So then you can use green shots. Green shot is a application you can use to blur any part of the image you want to blur out, so that people don't see information you don't want them to see. So, but you have to include the header page so that you are telling the people that this is actually what I clicked that brought me to this page that has no that says page is not found. So now you can just then you can, for example, if I click on this, you see that it automatically has the guy's name here, this particular part. So you can pay attention to that, copy it, post it. You can add, like, when it comes to reporting is just trying to show an evidence. That is, you are going to be showing a gap. You are going to be showing a remediation. Then you are going to show like you can show a rating of, okay, is this a very high, no, for example, when you are rating stuff, there's low, there's medium, there's high, there's critical. So that means, for example, now if you are looking for a site, you are doing OSINT on the site, then you see a Bitcoin, let's say block chain address, then you do a search. Let's say, I said you can actually do OSINT on dark web. So that means there's some sites on dark web that you can actually do search on them for blockchain address. So you can search the blockchain address. Let's say you search on blockchain in the dark web, and it's actually being a result. It's connected to a site that you want to probably invest in. For me, that's a critical finding. That's a critical red flag, because why should your stuff be on dark web? Because yes, it might be somebody else that posts it. That's why some things are also what they call, they are false positive. False positive means, yes, even though they exist, they might not be actually true. So that means even when you see a site that says this particular stuff is vulnerable, you actually have to follow it through. Even if you see the address on dark web, you have to check who posted it. I can be the one that posted it. It might not be the company. It might be, okay, the person that posted it. How related is the person to the company? It's like you are just trying to have a full document. Then along the line, as you are doing that, you are also taking a screenshot. Yeah, taking a screenshot, because screenshot is the evidence to show everything you said you do, or sorry, everything you said you did. Because if you don't take a screenshot, it's just as good as saying you didn't do anything. So that means, so you should be able to take screenshots. Then another thing is, let me see, I wanted to show you guys the Google Map aspects. Because for example, if you search the people on Google Map, okay, this is another website I was checking before I came on this session. Can you guys see this? Africunia Bank, or whatever they call their name. Can you see this page?
Yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
need
We
a
can see, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is
Yes, sir.
someone posted this and say this is not real. So okay, I took it as a challenge again to say, okay, let me search about it, because then somebody can just say this is not real. Anybody can say anything, uh, really. So the case is now that you have to be able to go online, check if they are actually real or not. So now in the case of this one, so you can check through their website. See, people writing all these things does not mean they are true. Anybody can write all of this. So, but now, since this is a blockchain stuff again, I think there's a lot of scam around when it comes to blockchain itself. There's a lot of scam everything. So, that means you have to check them through one after the other to see that they are actually true. So now in this one, you see Africa Catch, IEO sales, this, say tokenomics. If you don't know about blockchain and Bitcoin, tokenomics just means it means like the value of what they are trying to sell, or what they are trying to achieve, what they think the stuff will be able to make. So don't forget, we're talking about doing a report. But so that means on this one now, I can take this name, Africash, go on. I'm very sure that these guys are not on Binance. If they are on Binance, that means I might tag them as a little bit close to being good, but I don't think they will be on LinkedIn. Oh, okay, I think. Oh, what's it called, is not signed in. But then let me search on Google directly. So google.com, then I can just put the name Africash. Let me see. Okay, look at this one, Caprica. Look at another one, is talking about it here. They're actually talking about it in some sites. But if so, one of the, for example, coin market cap. Sorry, we're not doing crypto trading here. It's just that there's a lot of scam around crypto trading and cryptocurrency and blockchain. I think that's why some people think it's not real, which is not true. I think that is one of the reasons why you should have these particular skills we are talking about and learning about, so that you can easily check what you are, any platform you want to use, to be sure that they are actually real. So let me search that same name here. Sorry, I decided to bring up a lot of. Okay. See, automatically not saying, okay, I think something is coming up. Let me search it in full details. Okay. I think this one says Africa's life something. See, this one even moved us to another place entirely. So now, so see, it's showing Africa, it's showing the bank name here. So I think it's showing them on CoinMarketCap. It's showing they might be real, they might not. So, and that is what the work of our old sense. That is our job. So you keep digging, keep digging. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys is the so one of the things I wanted to show you guys is the address part. So this is the addresses. So when a site have addresses like this, it's like this like a gold mine for when you are doing those things, because you can just take the name. Now let's take this first one. You can take the name of wherever they say they are located, and copy it. You can add, this is Google Map. I had Google Map open before, so you can just search. No, I want to show you how to take a screenshot of a map, so that, for example, you'll be able to document it. So one of the things you do when you are using OSINT actually is, as you are getting findings, for example, you use something like what is this thing called, an Excel spreadsheet. That is what we usually use. You use the Excel spreadsheet. You start to you put the name of what you found. So sorry, I won't be able to show my own Excel spreadsheet on this particular system, so I don't show out any sensitive information. So that means you, so as simple as it is, you take a colon, you put the asset name. So what particular aspect is it? The address. You put the address, then you put, okay, you found the screenshot. What does it say? It's real or not? Are they in this particular location or not? So what I did actually, this is what normal Google Map will give you. Normal Google Map will show you transit. They won't show you a street view. So they'll just show this default and the likes. So I was the one who toggled in for street view, because street view allow you to use Google. So you can click on these blue lines. So if you click on this blue line, for example, now it shows you a street view of this particular place. So you can scroll around, look around, and look at it. Does this place look like a place where Africuna can be open, can be from? Then this is Bitcoin. So it can be somebody that just started it in his own room, and that is something about cryptocurrency. It can work, it might not work. So it's a gamble actually. So they always say put the money you can lose. So this is the particular location. This is the place. So you can zoom in. Let's see if you can get, okay. You see this, wait, I see something like plastering. Yeah. So you see some information there. You see this is a college house. This is a college house. So nothing here is showing us anything about Africuna. So let me go back to the site. Let me go to the website again. Look at it. They say they have a Nigeria office. So this one got me interested because at least I'm a Nigerian. So then you see there's a phone number here. You can use Truecaller to get more information on this, to say, okay, who owns this? So, as for example, this particular site, as we did this, as we checked this, and tailored it to what we're searching. See, it gives us, we have an address, the address here. So you can take a screenshot of this, for example, and say, okay, this is what we saw here. I'll take a screenshot of the entire page, and it automatically the screenshot has been taken. So you can now go to your Excel spreadsheet and post it there. I think probably Segun will take we have like another day where they do something on doing more reports in a very broad way. You know, everything is this I think yes, everything about this digital investigation is actually like, you know, I should say you see like a teaser. So there's still a lot of things to unravel, a lot of things to learn and dabble into. So so you can take your screenshots, move close, take your screenshots, show that this building does not have anything on it that is showing about this company or whatever they call themselves. Because they state that they are a bank. So at least a bank, I believe a bank should have a name in front of it. And look at this particular part of it. Look at everything here. Look at this first line. Look at this part. Then look at this part again. Look at this part. I believe that all these countries, except if these countries are in the same location, no. So they are all working in another bank. So that means they don't have their own physical location. They don't have anywhere they are being hosted. So the Nigeria, okay, I said I wanted to show you guys the Nigeria, the place they said they are located in Nigeria. Okay, I think I copied it already before. So this is it. This is our own Nigeria, Yaba Lagos. So see, there's a lot of things pointed at this particular street. This is where they said they are. This is the street they said they are located, you know. So you can zoom in, tap on this blue line again. You have street view. Like Google is really, let me use the wrong word. They are mad. Like really good. That's what I mean. Like give you a street view. You can look at the building, look at the surrounding. So like from this we can check around. There's nothing like that look like Africuna here. Or I didn't know what they call it. I think Afro-unique or what. So from there, you for each of these searches you are doing, you are taking a screenshot. If you go on the dark web and you see any link that links to the bank on dark web, you take a screenshot. Ensure your screenshot shows the date and the time, because that particular date and time also matters. Because if you are defending to let's say you have a client you are presenting to, because it's an analysis you are doing, you are trying to, you know, the same way they used to do, if you know the way they used to do this Sherlock Holmes movie and all this movie that we used to watch, that they will be drawing a tag, join this one joins to this one is showing this is linked to this. That's just like the same thing you are doing. So I was saying that there are some applications that can do all of this in details for you. So for example, you can use there's this application that is called so Google gave a picture of somebody inside the office. This is actually not good. Google should have blurred the face. So sorry, that's by the side. So what I'm saying is that there's a app called Multigo. I think there's a free community version. So okay, so you can, let me put the name here. I think Multigo, if I can spell it correctly. Yes, Multigo. Multigo is like a, oh, my system is low. Okay, so in the essence of everything, it just boils down to the fact of saying that in doing OSINT, you are trying to get information and detailed information to the highest level you can get it done. So then in every field of work, you have to be able to give a report for what you did. How did you get to this aspect of the site? Even if you are doing penetration testing, you should give a detail of, okay, this is what I did. This is what got me to this aspect. This is how I got access to this aspect. Then don't forget what I said. You must show your time and dates, so that if you are presenting to the client, as I said, you can tell a client that this is what I did. Then because of you just told them, no, one thing about it is that people can get fired for what you do. For example, well, OSINT is still a little bit on the, it's not very bad yet. So unlike penetration testing, if you find something on the critical part of the site, they can fire somebody for finding that. So but then when it comes, so you must give your details well. Take your screenshots, attach it to the spreadsheet. As I said, your spreadsheet will show a colon for the assets. That is, it is a URL, it's a file. Then you did okay from a website. You got to a people. That means a team who is on the site. Who are the people? Which name is listed on the site? Take the name. Search about it. Is the name linking back to the site? Is it correct? You can take a screenshot of it, add it to the spreadsheet. This is person is linked to this site. From people, you can go to geolocation. Okay, where is this particular building located? What is this? Then go to what is it called now? Go to your Google Map. Take a screenshot of Google Map. See, is this fact showing? Is anything on this building showing that these people own this company, or these people, or this building, or this address is related to this place? Then add it. So like you are going gradually like that. It's just a yeah, you're just saying you're trying to widen your scope, then at the same time narrow it down to your finding to see that okay, is this people's the are they truly who they say they are? Are they doing what they say they are doing? So just that's so report shows what you did. So so in your reporting strategy now, your reporting strategy just means how are you going about the strategy, you're reporting. So like you must have a plan of reporting. That's just the simple truth. You can't do OSINT and not do what's it called? You cannot do OSINT and not do reports. You have to give reports. You have to show report of okay, this is what I did, this is how I did it, so that and apart from the fact that you are doing it for people, for the what's it called now? Apart from the fact that you are going to submit it for the clients, you too, you are also keeping a note. For example, let's say you are practicing OSINT, you are keeping a note so that you can easily replay what you did at any given time to say you found something here, you found this particular thing, this was the step of how I did it, and be able to present it and give an explanation about it. So if there are any questions now, I think there's some show of hands. If you have any question, you can. So I think I saw a question that says what cybersecurity career path is more related to OSINT. I think more of analyst. So there's threat intelligence, there's SOC analyst, there's incident response. There's just more of saying cybersecurity analyst. So then the analysis, for example, the OSINT, let me type the address I osintjobs.com. This particular site you can see OSINT jobs. I think I saw one that talks about Google. Google were looking for analysts, a senior analyst. So you look at what they are requiring, what they are asking for, you look at it, get information about it, get more things about it. And okay, so I think I was talking about for example, one of the way you take a report is, let's say you find for example, most of the times you see all this link that comes on WhatsApp, for example. So Buhari is giving 5,000 naira to so people, and people just click anything. How would Buhari be sharing 5,000 and it's not sharing it on WhatsApp? No. So but people click on it. So from there, and usually shortened link. So that what you should do is take those shortened link. They are link from, I will share the Notion notes, actually Notion document. On that, you see a link where you can actually see the major link behind a shortened link. And from there, you can widen it and say, okay, who is related to this link? Then do a thorough OSINT, website OSINT on that particular link. Check what they write there. You can actually check for plagiarism. Okay, did they copy the text on this site from another site? Like some sites, since it's cloned, so Google can show you if they posted this in other places, then as you are seeing those results, seeing those findings, you take your screenshots, you're posting it into your Excel spreadsheets, you're taking it. You can use Excel spreadsheets. That's what I use, Excel spreadsheets or Notion. So you're keeping a proper document to show what you did and how you did it. So would there be any other questions? So I call it a day there. Any other question? If there's any question.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
I guess Mr. Emmanuel is raising up his hand.
Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, you can ask your question. Is he still on the call? Okay, Mr. Emmanuel,
Yes.
you can ask your question.
Yes, sorry, that was an error. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Okay, they say Grammarly can help you with plagiarism. I think you can just search on Google. Google should give you more pages that you can use to check if there's a plagiarism on the site. Then there's this one I was checking before I came on this call. It's like a is a Chrome extension. That's the one I dropped earlier, Crowd Tango. So then there's fake news debunker as well. Fake news debunker. They are both what's it called? They're both extensions. So you can easily take them, put them, search it, use them on the site. They will give you information about the site, what the site is used for, what they do, and the other informations. To see, they can go as far as tell you if some of their information is plagiarized or if they are real informations, and so on and so forth. So okay, if there's no question, then okay, it's fake news debunker. It's not a website though. It's an extension. It's an extension. So, and I posted the other one earlier, so you can just check back to the beginning of the old message. I will just add them to this document when I share it with Mr. Segun, so we will get it across to everyone, so that you can have access to it and get it installed. So I will be handing over back to my host so that I can take it from there.
Okay, thank you so much, Timothy, for that lovely section. I hope everyone learned one or two from it. Okay, so the next speaker will be coming up shortly. So let me do a brief introduction. His name is Fortune. Is a quality assurance tester at Upgraded Era. He's also a community leader at.
Hey, Mr. Tagger.
Is also a community lead at Akande, and is also a top national CTF player, and also a 300 level of Federal University of Technology. So, Fortune, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please just indicate in the chat box so that we move on from there. Can we hear me?
Good evening, boss. Yes, sir.
Okay. And wow, nice session by Mr. Toby. It was very, very enlightening and very interesting. So I'll be taking us on the PCAP analysis and investigation. So may the eyes of our understanding be enlightened as we proceed. So like Shazelia said, I'm the community lead of Hacker-Ace, and basically what we did here is actually to bridge the gap between academics and the working class of professionals. And we have seen substantial growth over the years and more growth as the time goes by. So yeah, not to waste much of our time, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Okay, I believe my screen is up now. So let's begin. All right. So now the first thing that we need to note is, what is this PCAP we'll be hearing about all this while. Now, PCAP is actually the short form for saying packet capture. So now, this is a nice blog post that I actually saw, and then they actually explained PCAP capture for us, and then we can see that PCAP, or packet capture, is an application programming interface that captures live network packets data from the OSI model layer 2 to 7. So now, if you look at PCAP, you would realize that is like 100% networking. And without the knowledge of networking, there's no how you'll be able to understand what you're trying to capture, or the network you're trying to analyze, or you're trying to filter. So that being said, I'll be taking us a bit into networking, because it won't be fair for me to just open up my Wireshark or use T-Shark, and then I'm trying to analyze one or two PCAP files that probably I captured. And then we have a lot of PCAP files to actually analyze today, and hope to be a fun ride for most of us. So I'll be taking us a bit into networking, and if you have understanding of networking, then that is very, very nice, because you would need that. Because now when you start looking at this wire captured, this packet captured by Wireshark, you realize that if you don't have the understanding of let's say the layer 1, the layer 2, and we're talking about something like the frame, we're talking about something like the Ethernet, we're talking about something like the physical layer and all that, application layer, presentation layer, you'll just be lost in the whole conversation. So let me bring up my slide on the introduction to networking.
Hello, sir. Your window is zero. Can you share only your browser?
Sorry, please just mute our mic. Thank you. So let me confirm if okay. So now what is the network? Now a network is simply a group of connected things because of similar goals they want to achieve or share their goal and communicate. Now let me explain it in a simpler term. Now let's say computer A is trying to communicate to computer B, right? So the process, or the way me and you are able to communicate right now, is the basis in which the internet is actually built or was actually bettered. Because me and you actually form a network, and chunks of network actually make what we call the internet. So networking is just basically me and you communicating or talking. So now, let's move ahead. So the internet is a very large network consisting of millions to billions of small networks. So it's these small networks that actually make up the internet, and then the internet makes it so that this small network or these smaller networks can actually communicate with each other effectively and easily share information and resources across the globe. So now you should understand that the internet is actually broken down into inter and the net. So these are breaking down the interconnected network. So remove the inter and remove the net. So it actually brings up the form internet. Sorry, I would love to ask, are we together?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So now we have looked at the internet and network. Now, how computer network works. Now, the networks can either be connected physically or wirelessly. Now, when you look at networking, are basically just two modes of approach. Is that I'm connecting to you probably wired or wirelessly. Now, this wired connection might be through this LAN cable, but most of us, or the way we are communicating now, is wireless, right? So we're communicating via the internet. So we're talking to a server, and this server is actually bringing down our request for us, and then we are pushing it from this. So probably your speed, everything is just involved. So it's actually wireless that me and you are able to communicate. And the already content shares information, resources, and data using a system rule called communication protocol. So now the rules in which this computer network actually follows or obeys are actually what is known as these protocols. Now these protocols are there to be able to transmit communication over either the physical or wireless technologies. Then let's even understand what is actually this physical and wired technologies. No, I've actually spoken about it a bit. Now let's look at it in detail. Now the wired technology, the wired network, as we all know, wired refers to any physical medium made up of cables, copper wires, twisted pairs. You can actually go through this later. Now, Ethernet is the most widely used LAN technology, and the reason behind it, this wide usability is Internet is easy to understand, implement, and maintain. You can see something like this from this image over here. You can see that these are some cables, some LAN cables, and then is of low cost network implementation. So now we have some network components that we'll be looking at, because now let me log into my Kali Linux, and then I believe some of us have Kali Linux with us. So now let me sorry. Okay, so I'm able to see what I'm sharing over here. Okay, so now this is a lot of sorry, this is a lot of pickup files that I actually have. I actually have a folder for it, so that I know, okay, my work is actually very neat, you know. So if I want to locate my pickup file, I can easily just go over here and then I'll locate them. So let me open one. Okay. Oh. Sorry. So now let's try and open. Now I have how many pickup files here? I have 31 pickup files. So let's run Wireshark via what? I'm actually using the terminal right now to actually run my pickup file. Don't worry, we'll go back to our networking class. So now this is our pickup file, and then this is just the breakdown of the Wireshark interpretation of our captured network. So now just imagine if we started the class, right? And then I just brought up this Wireshark and I'm analyzing things. And then I'm like, okay, this is the source, this is destination, this is the protocol is listening on, this is the length of the data, and this is the information that will carry out of the data. You'll be like, okay, bro, what is going on here? Please, can you explain this in details for us? So, like now, look at over here. This is talking about frame. But this frame that is actually here is not the frame that is in the layer 2 of the OSI model. Sorry, layer rather. The layer 2 frame is actually found over here in this our Ethernet 2, where it shows the source and our destination MAC address and IP address. This frame over here is just showing the metadata of our captured network. So now I was talking about protocol, right? Over here. Yeah, I was talking about this is actually the command that they actually follow. And we can see from over here that the protocol that is following is what TCP. And then let me just explain a bit of TCP. We'll still come back to it. But TCP is known as the Transmission Control Protocol. And why is this protocol widely used or mostly used over the UDP? It's because of the it's actually connection based, right? It's reliable, unlike the UDP that is less reliable. Why it's actually reliable over the UDP is because now I'm sending a packet to you. I'm sure that, okay, following the three-way handshake of SYN, CNAC, and acknowledgement, it will actually get to you, and then you acknowledge back to me that, okay, there was a connection between me and you. But the UDP, it just keeps on sending, and you realize that at the speed at which it goes, there's some data that are being lost, there's some packets that are being lost along the way or along the line. And it's important to know that that is why we're using TCP over here, because this is actually a web this is actually a web page captured data, and it's very, very important to note that it's TCP that it actually uses to actually send our packets. But services like your streaming service, like services that requires fast speed, like when I mean fast speed, I mean from the sender to the receiver, or from me, the source, to the destination, right? I need fast speed, because you cannot be watching a football match and then you realize that, okay, this is lagging, you know, and then you'll be like, okay, what is going on here? So that's why they use what they call the UDP, so that they don't care if packets are lost. But as far as coming with fast pace and we can get what you are saying, and that is cool, and that we are good to go. So now we are looking at networking component. Now we have the server and we have the client. Now a server is a computer that serves the data to other computers and users. Now, the network components can be in the form of a computer, a hardware device, or a computer program that is loaded so that it can send data and any information to another computer. So that's the role of the server, right? It's actually a computer that serves the data to other computers. So I can be the server. I actually have a server that is hosted on my system. Let me show us, since we are all here to learn. I would not be like as if I'm speaking gibberish. So why that is coming up? So now I can be a server, someone else can be the server, but the server should just be the one serving us, like the name implies. It should be able to serve us. So now let's take, for instance, this is the MiFi, right? Now this MiFi can be the server. My system can be the server. A Windows machine can be the server. So I actually have let me check. It should be Windows 2019 server. So yes, I actually have a Windows server 2019, and then this is actually, I'm actually using this as my domain controller. Why I use this other two as my other operating systems communicating over or communicating to the domain controller. So that is actually the work of the server, right? So now let's look at clients. Now clients, this is a computer, a device that receives and sends requests to the server or from the server. So we have looked at how computer network works. Now we have looked at server and clients. Now let's look at this networking components. Now we have a lot of networking components, and then we have the transmission media, we have the network interface card. Let's understand what transmission media actually means. Now, the transmission media are the medium through which data is transferred from one device to another in the network. Now, we have two types of this medium. We have actually looked at it before. That is the wired and the wireless medium. Okay. And then that is actually that for transmission, because this is also a way in which we communicate, like the way we transmit data from me to you, you know, it's actually known as the transmission media. Now we have the network interface card. This network interface card is also called, that is the NIC is also called the network interface controller, the network adapter, LAN adapter, and physical network adapter. Now this NIC card are hardware components used to connect computer with networks. Now, within a NIC or a network interface card, a computer cannot be connected to the network. Now we have two types. We have the internal and we have the external. Now every computer has its own network interface card. That should be noted, because without that, how do we communicate, or how do we have access to our internet, probably wireless or wired? So now we have some other components. You have the hub, you have the switches, you have the router. Now the router is a hardware network component. Now it works in such a way that when data travels from network to network, the router receives such packet data and then forwards it to the destination device after analyzing hidden information in the data packet. Now we have the repeater, we have the bridges. Now that brings us to this aspect, and this is the aspect of the IP address. Now, you may have seen from this my Kali Linux that we have the source, we have the destination. Now, you'll be wondering that what is this? Like 172.169.0.3, and the destination is 172.19.0.2. You know that these are two different things. So now this is what is known as the IP address, Internet Protocol Address. Let's take a look at it. Now, the Internet Protocol address is a collection of numbers divided or categorized into 4 octets. Now, they can actually be referred to as an identity given to devices, host, or a network for a time the device or the host stays on the network. Now, we should understand that when it comes to IP addressing, we have two forms. We have two forms of IP addressing. We have the IPv4, we have the IPv6. Now, the one that is widely used is the IPv4. But then, let me bring up a calculator and then let's understand some things. Calculator. Okay. Now, this is my calculator here, right? Now, we realize that there are actually four chunks, right, of 8888 bits. And that 88 bits will be 8 times what? 4. That is what? 32, right? Now, 32. Let's do something. Let's do a quick math, and then let's see where we go from there. Now, let's do 2 to the power of 32. Let's see what it gives us. Sorry. 2 to the power of 32. Okay, now you see it gives us around 4 billion thereabout. So now this is the total IP address that we can use in IPv4. Now, calm down. Let me explain something to you. Now, this is 4 billion, right? And right now in the world, I think you're up to this 7 billion, is it 8 billion? I don't know. But calculating that we have used up this IP addressing space. Now, that is where they now brought up the idea of NAT, Network Address Translator. So what this does is, that brings us to this next concept that we'll be looking at. That is subnetting. Now, it's through this subnetting that me as a user can assign different IP address to a particular host. So now this IP address are actually divided into 4. We have the different classes. We have the class A, the class B, class C, and the class D. The commonly used class is actually the class C. That is the 192.168.0.1 or the .0.0. It depends on the subnet that you're actually working on. Now this subnet can be 255.255.255.255. Let me power up my terminal and let me check for let me check for some. I'm checking for my, let me check for my IF config. Now this is my IF config, right? Now we can see if we scroll up, no, let's only use this one that is down here. You can see from over here that this inet indicates my IPv4 IP address. Why this inet 6 is for my IPv6? You can clearly see that my internet is not connected to my VMware, so you can't really bring up any IP address. This is my local host IP address. If you have a device too, you have a specific local host that is typically 127.0.0.1. Now, I want us to pay attention to the netmax. Let me increase this. Now, this is the netmax that is showing what? 255.0.0.0. Now, this is a network in which we can allocate different IP address with this open space of 0.0.0, right? But this 255 is actually filled up. So all we can do now is to either use this from 0 to 255. That means we can allocate 256 to this. Why this? We can allocate from 0 to 255 also, and also this. So now you can see some network in which is closed up to 255.255.255.0, meaning it's only this last octet that we can actually use to allocate IP address to the network. But now, before I go ahead, now I was talking about IPv4, and then I was like, okay, we have two types of IP addressing scheme. We have the IPv4, we have the IPv6, right? Now the IPv4 is the one we currently use because it's actually easy for me to actually understand IPv4. IPv4 is just I can also master my 192.168.0.0. But they now brought up the idea of IPv6. IPv6 is actually 128 bits of data. And if I bring up my calculator again, let's do the math again. So now if we do 2 to the power of 128, you would see that I doubt if we'll be able to use up this IP addressing space in our lifetime, right? It's a lot, it's a whole lot. But the way you will know an IPv4 IP address from an IPv6 IP address is the way they are being denoted. Now IPv4 is denoted with decimal, while IPv6 is denoted with hexadecimal. Now let me okay. Now let me power up my command line, my command prompt over here. Sorry, can you just put in the chat box if you understand what I've been saying so far, so that I know I'm talking with my audience, so that I don't just feel like I'm talking to myself. So I would love us if you can just send the chat box if you understand before I go ahead. And if there's anyone who wants to go back to, I can actually just go on before we actually proceed, so that you actually gain something from this session. All right, nice. I love this. My audience is actually following. So now what I just did now, I just searched, okay. Now I just searched for my IP config. Now you can do the same thing on your system. There's nothing new I'm actually doing here, right? You can use your IP config for your command prompt, while you use your ifconfig if you have a Linux operating system to check for your IP address. Now I just did ipconfig/all and then gave out all the information to my network. But now let's keep it simple and straightforward by just using ipconfig. Now this is my ipconfig. Now this is what I've been explaining since, right? Let's go down here. Now this is my wireless IP address, right? Now you can see from over here that this is our IPv4, IPv4. IPv4 is 192.168.43. The other one. Why this is our subnet? Now understand what I've been saying before. Now this is our subnet. I can only assign a particular amount of network to this 0. That's why I can see something like 217, right? Now it can't exceed 255. So now I can allocate from 0 to 255 in this network. Now the default gateway is this. That is where I communicate over the internet. So yeah, that is that for that. So that we saw from this is very, very, should I say, crazy to actually put on your head. But even the 192.168.43.0.1.2.3.255, right? Realize that even your website or your web page actually use this IP addressing scheme. So now that's why you see when I capture this network from the website, it did not tell me the website name, probably google.com or this one.com. It just showed us this IP address from this IP address. This is the way we communicate, but that is the role of your DNS, your domain name system. They actually convert this your domain name to IP address so that the the web browser is able to understand what you're trying to access. So you as a user, you're searching for google.com, but your DNS server converts google.com to probably 8.8.8.8, depending on the IP address of google.com. So that is the role of your DNS server. So now I can actually search for google.com, and then I start my network capture. Let me show you something. Just pay attention. Let's observe something here. Let me cue this one. Now let's just run Wireshark, right? With our alpha, okay. All right. So now this is our Wireshark over here. Remember what we are doing? We are dealing with PCAP analysis and investigation. In case you're just joining us now, this is basically what we are doing. So we're going through the process of what is networking, because we need to understand the importance of networking, naturally on analyzing this file. You cannot be a good analyst with PCAP files if you don't have a strong understanding of networking. Like, you can't be cybersecurity and really go far. Like, when I mean really go far, I mean in the practical aspect. Now you can decide to go for GRC or for all those ones that doesn't really involve all this networking and all that. But you need to just understand networking. You need to understand what is going on. You need to understand how do I communicate over the internet. Because it will be funny if probably a newbie does come and then he approaches you and then like, sir or ma, please, how does the internet work? I am like, I don't know. Like, can't you Google it, or can't you just search something or do something like that? It's really speak good of us, So understanding this is actually important, and that's what I'll be going through in case you're just joining us. Yeah, thank you for all those that have actually joined in so far. So yeah, so I was saying something that I can just now observe something. This is a Wireshark. This is a network analysis and capture tool, so that you don't get lost with what is Wireshark that I'll be shouting about. Since now we can install it both on your Windows system and on your Linux system. You can go over to their website at wireshark.org, from wireshark.org, and then you just download it over here. Then you can learn of it. I can go beyond Wireshark. Then the other, now if let's say you want to simulate this your communication between your device to your server, or how you communicate from me to you, you can use GNS3. Let me check. Yes, you can use GNS3. Then you can download the one for the Windows system, or you download the one for your Mac system or for your Linux operating system. It depends on what you want to download. Now you can download it and then install guide to actually guide you through. I actually have one over here. Now you install the VM and then you install the GUI to actually do your capture well. So you need to set up some other machines like your Windows machine to understand what is actually going on. But if you have the space. But if you don't have the space on your system to actually run such simulations, then I don't really advise doing that. But if in case you actually have it, then that is good. I actually have a 16 gig RAM system, so I think that's actually very okay for me to actually do some of these my simulations. So yeah, that is that. So now you can install your Wireshark. I actually I don't know if you follow me on LinkedIn. I actually posted it that against this class you should actually come along with your notes, because I'm talking about networking so far, right? So if you have a good notes, that would be very, very, very sweet of you. I don't know if there's a way they can actually reach out to any of these digital security village personnel, because I'll be giving a voucher giveaway at the end of this class for the most attentive among us. It's actually a pen tester lab 1 month free giveaway voucher. They actually have a room in pen tester lab that offers PCAP courses. So you actually go there and just explore a lot of things. So just engage well and can ask a question, take notes, and you could be the lucky winner today. So yeah, I was talking about installation of our Wireshark software. You can see, if you want to learn, just go on Google. Google is your best friend. That is the interesting thing about Google. You know, bootcamp like this would help you in your coaching and directing you on the right path. But now you have your own part to play. You have to be disciplined enough to learn this particular tool. Because if you don't understand this particular tool, you will not be referred to as a script kiddie, right? Now, okay, let's say you don't have to do your own tool, but understanding the in-depth of this tool will actually help you. So you can actually just come over here, you know, look at the top 10 Wireshark filters, the TCP fundamental part 1, how I learned to stop worrying and love the PCAPs and all that. You know, cool stuff over here. Cool, really, really cool stuff over here. You can go over here to GNS3, you know, the Windows, download it, run the simulation, and then you're good to go. Hope we see together. Are we still together? All right.
Yes.
All right. Hope I'm not boring. Hope I'm not boring people out. Okay. All right. So now, I was telling us to pay attention to this Wireshark network analysis, and this will actually tell us to start capturing packets. This will tell us to stop the capture. This will tell us to restart our current capture. This will tell us the different capture options that we have. This one is actually for the editing, to view, to capture, to analyze, because we need to analyze our data. Now, the statistics of our data, and then we have the telephone, the telephony, we have the wireless, we have the tools, and we have the help. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, sorry for that. So yes, so now let's start capturing packets. What you have to do is you go over here. These are your network interface cards that you have. Remember, we saw from our from our slide. Let me go back to that slide in case you're just joining us. I don't want anybody to be lost in this whole process. I don't want anybody to be lost. I want everybody to go back, you know, better than we came. Now, this is network interface card. Is that are called network interface controllers, network adapters, LAN adapters, this kind of network interface. Now, this NIC card are hardware components used to connect computer with networks. Now, without this NIC, a computer cannot connect to networks. Now, we have internal and external NIC. So now, these are my different NICs that I have. I have the Ethernet 0, I have the loopback, I have my Docker, I have my Bluetooth monitor, and all that. So now, you would know which one is actually up and which one is actually down. Follow me. Now, you can see that this is actually spiking up like this wave format over here. You can see from over here too, that's spiking up like wave format also, you know. So I click on my Internet 0 because that is basically where I work on, right? Now, I'm not expecting this to capture a network because my internet is not connecting. I don't know why, but let's see. Now, we start the capture of our network, and we will most likely not get a lot of requests. But let me see if it's possible to refresh this page. Exactly, I don't have internet connection. But in case you have internet connection, it should be it, and you just search for a website like google.com, it will not be pouring out here like a flood. Like you're not able to control it. You know, I see pouring out 1, 2, you can see count 3, 4, 5. But like there's some network packet that you would capture. Like we seeing like up to 13,000 packets in like in a minute. You know, just fall like you it might overpower yourself. But what you do is that as they're coming down or as they're running down, you stop the capture. Once you stop it, it stops at where you stop it. So you can decide to continue, you can decide to pause it, and then this is our captured network. Now we can see that our source and our destination is not really something that we can actually make do with, because it's not really something that we have a lot of information on our own side, because what is 0.0.0.0, right? This is basically, this should be my VMware doing its thing. So this is our destination, right? But if to say this my my network is actually connected, all this thing will not be showing. But I have it installed on my Windows, so I got you all covered. All right. Okay, so analyzing the file, right? What's going on now? Okay. Now you can actually come over here to actually do your settings. I don't know why it is not showing my network card. Okay, yeah, no. Oh. Wow, what's going on? Wow. So I don't know what's really going on. Ah, stop. Please pardon me. What's going on? Changing this education. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hope I've not lost my house to that. So, basically, what you do is you actually capture your network, and then once you capture the network by actually starting it, you can stop the network. You can even play it again to save this network. You can save the packet, or you can discard the packet in case you don't actually need it. So I think we're lost now. Let's continue from our slide. So now we talk about IP addressing. I was showing about telling you about the IPv4, IPv6, right? I was telling about the different ways in which we can assign networks, or yes, we can assign IP address to different networks. So now it brings us to the aspect of subnetting, right? Now, you might be saying something like DHCP, JCP, DHCP. Now, DHCP, you have two forms. We actually have DHCP and we have static IP addressing. So now, this static IP addressing means I will manually give you an IP address. Why this dynamic host configuration protocol means once you connect to my internet or to my network gateway, it automatically gives you an IP address that you can actually use. Now you can either, like I said, it or set it manually by the administrator. That is actually the static IP addressing. So now IP addressing and subnetting. Subnetting is actually a term used to refer to the method of splitting the network into smaller parts within the network. Now this is achieved by splitting up the number of users that can fit into the network. It brings us to what is known as a MAC address. Now let me load a PCAP file. Quit with that saving, and then let's do this PCAP file we have. Hope we all know our basic Linux command ls to list, ls-la to list the hidden files and to show the permissions of such file and the process tree. All right, let's hope that we know that. Okay, nice one. Okay, thank you, Rose. Thank you. So now I'm running my Wireshark from now. Before I go on, I don't know if they've explained a bit of this Kali Linux and all that, But now, if you log into Kali Linux, there's different Linux distribution. We have Kali, we have Parrot, we have Arc, we have Ubuntu, right? Now, they made it in such a way, this Kali made it in such a way in which you understand what is actually going on. So now, in the process of testing, there are actually 5 processes. We have our information gathering, we have our scanning and enumeration, we have our exploitation, we have our report writing. So now we can see over here that they are all stated. These are information gathering tools, vulnerability assessment, analysis tools. We have web application analysis tool. We have database analysis, assessment, password cracking tools, wireless attack, reverse engineering tools, exploitation, sniffing, and spoofing. This is what we are doing here. We are sniffing, spoofing this network. Now you can either use responder, your MITM, man in the middle attack. We have 2 forms. We have the passive and we have the active form of man in the middle attack. Passive meaning the attacker is listening to the connection between user A and user B. Now you understand the concept of networking. So if I'm talking about man in the middle attack, you should understand it better now. That okay, yes, they're actually listening to what is going on between A and B, but they're not intercepting the network. But if it's active, we are actively intercepting this network. So you can find the Wireshark over here. So you can either click on it over here to start it, or use your terminal to start it. So now this is our Wireshark, and then let's go back to our PCAP 1. That is our PCAP file, our packet capture first file. Now this is a very, very small packet captured file, and then we can see our source, we can see our destination, we can see the protocol, and we can see the length, and we can see the information of what we are actually doing in this our captured network. Now let's click on here. Let's see our internet. So that is layer 2 frame, frame under layer 2 of the OSI model. Now this is our destination, right? Our destination IP address, and then our source IP address, right? Now we can look at this internet protocol, can open it up to differentiate differentiated services and all that, transmission control protocol. And hey, yeah. So now we need to understand the idea of ports and protocols. We'll still look at that later on in this my slide. Then we understand the idea of port and protocol. Now, port is like an opening. You know, when they say something like has a hole, right? That is like a port. That is like, you know, like your phone when you want to charge, they'll be like charging ports. Alright, some of us when our charging ports spoils, you know, an entering, an opening for anybody to access, anybody to enter, right? Now that is ports. No protocol to talk about. That's the command this network actually understands. TCP, UDP, FTP, SSH, these are all protocols. SMB, these are all protocols. Now, you can see the source port. The source port is showing us any port. Now, this is a random port, rather. This is a random port of 42379. Now, you should note that the total numbers of ports we have is 65535. So do I actually master that to it? 65535 is 655. You know, I don't know. There's where I do my own things. You know, different people and the way they actually understand concept of things. So 65535, and if you see from this 42378, you can see that we are still in the confinement of our 65535. Now we can see our destination port is 8080, and a typical HTTP network communicates over port 80 or 8080. Now you can decide to host your HTTP request in another port, but the typical one that we know is actually port 80 and port 8080. Take that you actually need to note that down. You know. Now when you're looking at HTTPS, that is HTTP over SSL, and in more secured form, you make use of sorry, I want to see my audience. Okay, you make use of port 443. So now That is that for that. So now we capture the network over HTTP, meaning this network or this communication was not secured, right? So we can actually view what was being captured in this network. Now, let me show you something over here. Now we can see that we can right click and we have other options over here. We can apply a filter. We can follow the stream. We can use conversion filter, right? Now let's follow this TCP stream and then let's see. You can see that we can see our text in plain text, like you can clearly read what is going on here. But if it's a communication over HTTPS in which we capture the network, you'll not be able to see things over here. Now, there's actually a drawback to that. When we're talking about network like the TLS, in which you communicate securely. Now, it actually gives you the server information, and this server information actually has a way of dropping some packets that are readable, and this readable packet might be confidential packet that is actually dropping is trying to show us the server information. So I just thought I should just let that out there. So now we have conveniently analyzed one PCAP file with the understanding of what we have of the protocols that it follows, the source and destination IP address. We can see that we're able to get this our plain text by what? By right-clicking on our captured network and then following the stream, and then we see that it's actually a plain text. So now what was I talking about? I was talking about MAC addressing, right? Now MAC addressing, let's search our ifconfig, Let me see my MAC address. My MAC address. Okay, from over here we can see that this is my MAC address. This is the naming convention for a Linux system, right? Now I can copy this MAC address and then I do a quick MAC address lookup. MAC address lookup. I can do a quick MAC address lookup to actually see the name of the device using this particular MAC address. Now, the first 3 chunks of this MAC address is actually where you get the device name from. So, in case you're under probably you're trying to perform an investigation, you can just copy it over here and you can see that it gives us, like, now, doesn't this just blow off, like, just blows your head, right? You can see the vendor's OUI, the vendor's name, the address of the vendor, the assignment type, the MAC address block level. It even gives you the mapped address, like the map to this address of this my machine. So it's showing 600 soft load in US. So that is actually that for this. This is my MAC address. So that is the explanation of this. So now the MAC is actually known as the media access control. No wonder when we actually do the MAC address lookup, we actually see that it's actually showing the vendor's name, the device name, the media name of probably the device we're actually using. Now we can see that our media access control, you can see from the first part that the first 3 parts is actually the organization unique identifier, while the other last 3 parts is the network interface control. I don't know what the last one is, but it's actually the network interface control 3 chunks. So now we have different types of network. We have PAN, we have MAN, we have LAN. I'll not want to waste much of our time. We have different topologies, the advantages, disadvantages of such topologies. So let's continue with our analysis. Okay. Let's continue with our analysis. Now let's look at some of my recent captured network. That should be PCAP 30 or 29. Let's use PCAP 29, or let us use a random one. Let's try 14. Let's use 14. So now 14 actually comes out with a request. Now let's understand something. I was talking about the three-way handshake that goes on the TCP. Now I was saying something like, let me open this. I was saying something like the scene arc, right? And then the acknowledgement. This is the concept, right? This is the concept of the three-way handshake. The scene arc, and the acknowledgement. Now you can see from over here that you can see some scene packets, some scene arc, and some acknowledgement, and then most times it returns back with hello or welcome. This is TCP, this is HTTP protocol. Now we have different type of port and protocol. Let me see my slide if there are some that I put over there. Okay. Now we have different ports. We have HTTP under port 80. We have HTTPS 443. We have SSH 22. We have FTP 21, right? Please just actually correct me. And we have SMB. Yes, we have SMB. We have POP3. So these are different protocols that actually this internet protocol actually understands. Now you can see that this is a post request, right? So it's trying to pull something down from the internet, right? Unlike get, yes, we're getting something, we're posting something, so we're pushing it to the internet, right? We have push request as well, but this is actually a post request. I don't know how best to explain it now, but I hope that actually explains it a bit. Now we have the content type that we can see the text /HTML file, and we can see the HTML file well clearly written over here. It's showing us that this method is actually not allowed. If this is actually a plain written text, right? But what if it's not this one we captured? What if it's something very, very, very sensitive? Now we're only seeing method not allowed, and all this. What if it's showing us probably the next plan, or probably Coca-Cola secrets? Now you can imagine the massive cash out, right? Massive cash out that would bring. So this is all plain text. Now you can decide to follow your stream from down here. You can decide to show data as probably instead of ASCII text, you can use an hexadecimal dump of your data. But ASCII text is actually readable text. Now it depends on how you want to analyze the data that you actually convert to data. But I prefer ASCII. But there are some occasions in which you need to convert it to an hexadecimal dump. You save this file and then you analyze the saved file. So now, for instance, they hid a zip file from this network capture. So what do? You convert it to your hexadecimal form, and then you save it on your system, and then you analyze the zip file, and they extract all you need to extract. Now you can see from down here that it gives us the hex dump of our captured data. And we can see some readable text over here as well. You can see the internet protocol. You can see it's showing protocol version 4. Remember what I said? You have IPv4 for version 4, IPv6 for version 6. Now it's clear that it's version 4. So you can see 192.168.144.3. The destination is .2. Yeah, the source and the destinations are two different IP address. Now we have the different flags. We have let me take this one down. We have a key over here in plain text. We have our hypertext transfer protocol. We can even read the code from over here by just using the drop down menu. You know, you can actually read it, clear text, very clear text over here from the captured network. So you can go over to your statistics. You know, you can go over to analyze this your tool, or you can decide to filter your request. Now let me do I think it should be PCAP 30. Let me see if it's an interesting one for us. Now we can see PCAP 30. PCAP 30 is actually just showing us TCP as the transfer control protocol, and we have the TLS. You know, so now you cannot say you're following this such a string. Rather, you won't really see something tangible. You know, but you can see from over here that it's showing us server hello certificates, right? Server key exchange, server hello done. Now we can see that this TLS, that is the transport layer security, right? If you click on this, you remember that there was something down here when we clicked on our TLS. Yeah. But now if you click on our TCP, we see nothing, showing that okay, this is proven to be something worthwhile. Now let's try and break down these chunks of captured network. You can see the content, the handshake, you can see the version, the TLS is actually version 1, actually 1.2. Going down, you can see the random stuff. You can see the time that this network was captured, June 8, 2019. You can see the cipher suits. You can see the different cipher that actually it actually collects and understands. It's a lot. It's massive. It's massive. It's massive. So you can understand. You can go down. You know, you can search for the signature algorithm, and you can see the signature algorithms over here. Now you can decide to search for the supported groups, session tickets, compression methods, and all this. You know, just from this network captured that we actually did, you know, get to see a lot of things, like a lot of things, a lot. You know, let me scroll down. Let me see to where we can view the server information. Come on. Okay. All right. Okay. Nice. All right. Okay. Let's continue the search. You know. Now this is showing us the DSCP. That is the DSCP is another very that is the differentiated services code point, right? It's showing us some flags over here. The protocol, there is TCP over here. There's protocol. You can see the handshake protocol, the client key exchange, and we can see the we can go down and we can let's see another one. Let's see what it does for us. You can see the TLS session ticket over here. You can see that the hex dump, as you click on each of these, it shows you the hex dump equivalent of each. You know, you can see from over here. You can click on this, and then we go down. But now there's a shortcut to this, right? Now the shortcut is that this network, this TLS can even be followed by UDP stream. Now let's follow it with a okay, there's a TLS stream. You can see that we did not find anything, like nothing. We found 0 or nothing. But you know what? We are investigators. We don't just relent. Let's go to our first stream. Let's see. Can we see anything meaningful here? Can see that it is a lot of encrypted text over here, unlike what I've been seeing before. You know, we have been seeing it in plain text. But we can see some informations down here. Let's scroll down. You can see the public key over here. You can see the signature algorithm, and we can see that the server is saying hello done over here. So this is another way, understanding the PCAP file that you actually captured over the internet with tools like Wireshark. Wireshark is actually widely used, because it's very easy to understand this tool. Imagine what I'll be doing since, clicking on each of these, understanding this, following the stream, starting our capture, stopping the capture, and all that. Now, let's go to another one. Let's see PCAP 29. Okay, now we can see that this is showing us just two networks, but there's something interesting to find out from just these two network that was already provided to us. But now let's try and drop this down. Let's do some drop downs. Okay, nice. So okay, you can look at our frame. You can look at the flags over here. Now this flag is important also. The internet 2. You can see our source, and we can also see our destination. Now let's see something. We clearly cannot follow this network. What do you do? What do you suggest we do? Can anyone suggest anything in chat box? Is anyone saying anything? Hex, copy source and destination, ICPM protocol. Nice. I love this engagement. Keep sending your answers. Let me check. Okay, nice. Let me see. Anyone else? Nice. Okay. All right. Now, did you people observe when I said in the other time that we can actually view our plain text from down here from our hex dump? Do you people remember? Now we can see that our plain text is actually down here under this data. You can see it over here. Click on this data, which shows our plain text over here. Now, right, how do I know it's a plain text? Because this is the information we are meant to look for over here. And then we can find out when you actually go down this stream of your internet control message protocol, it can't really hide himself. Now, why it's actually very cool? Why it's actually very cool for you to actually use protocols like the ICMP is because most of these organizations actually they can dictate protocols like TCP, UDP, the popular one like TCP and all that. But when they see a protocol like the ICMP, you tend to ignore it, right? But from your capture, you can see that you can see plain text. Even before you start analyzing all this, just looking for probably the data from our network captured that is using the Wireshark. You can tell our plain text over here. Now, the plain text is not actually much. Obviously, it's just 2 packets that we captured. So you don't expect it to be one chunk load of information given down for us here. So thank you to those that actually answered. Thank you to those that answered. Let's do capture 30 and then 31, and then we call it. Okay, I think we have done this, and then we call it a day. Okay, this is showing us the key exchange of the server. Now I can go over to the network certificate and actually analyze the transport layer security, and then we look at certificate over here, down here, and then looking at certificate, I look at the handshake protocol, and then certificate, the certificate length, and then you click over here, and then you see that you can get your information down here with your information written here clearly. The information is clearly written here by certificate. That's clearly what we just did. We should go to our TLS communication and then filter our information by actually using the drop-down menu of our transport layer security, and then going over to our TLS handshake protocol certificate, and then certificate is actually giving us certificate length. So from this length that you get your long chunk of data. So yeah, I would love us to do this before we actually call it an evening. So now this is our PCAP 28. Now, I've spoken about DNS, the domain name system. It's name is the word converts your domain name to IP address. So now we have our domain name query. Let's try and follow it and let's see if we get any information. It does get chunks of different streams. Now, what this actually indicating is like it's just like saying an attacker was trying to access this particular server, but it doesn't have the correct transaction ID of this our server. So what does it do? It tries to brute force our server with a lot of different packets that is actually thrown into it. Imagine DNS from different transaction ID, trying to see if they can actually get ours. But then God big past them. But if you, as an analyst, want to analyze what is actually going on, you can click on your DNS over here, and then click on the domain name system, and then you see a transaction ID here of 0xF755. What you do now, I'm not using filters is all this while. Now what you do now is to run your DNS .id equals to your 0xF7, right? 55. And then it drops down to those 2 IP address. And if you click on this and then we follow this particular UDP stream of your DNS, we see that we get our plain text. So that is that for PCAP analysis and then investigation. So in case you have any question, please feel free to actually ask. I think we have spent a lot of time understanding what networking is and understanding how to analyze the speaker files. So thank you. So do you have any questions for me? Any questions? I think that is definitely not the voucher, actually. You have any questions for me? Or if you understood the session so well? Okay, let me check. So following TCP stream.
Fortune, thank you for the section, but I think there are some questions in the chat box.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Try to see which one I can was.
So someone asks, can I do pickup in TryAcme?
Yes, I think they have a networking room on TryAcme, but I don't really know. You actually have to check. You check. Just check. But it's possible that they have in TryAcme. It's possible. It's possible they have. It's possible you have. And thank you, Sunday, for your kind words. So you could now ask any question. Like you could now ask, what is the OSI layer? So now ask, what are different layers? I don't know. Or should I ask the question? Okay. So if you know the OSI layer from the layer 1 to layer 7, please feel free to actually drop it in the chat box, because I want you to ask any question.
Or better still, they can just unmute their mic and answer instead of them typing.
Okay. I don't have an issue with that. I don't want to be flooded with a lot of noise, interference, and all that. But yeah, you can
if you're ready to talk, you can just raise your digital hand up. Then
exactly. That will help out. That will help out. So you can help me.
Okay, Zakaria. Okay. Right.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir. Good evening.
The OSI layer is the physical, the data link, the network, the session, presentation. Please do not transport. Then session, presentation, and application.
Okay. Nice. I can see some people dropping it in the chat box. So I think some of us understand. So if you don't understand what the OSI layer is all about, you can actually check the chat box. This is the way we communicate. I actually use mnemonics. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Physical data link, network, transport, session, and presentation and application layer. They all have a way of coming handy with each other. So I think that answers my question. I don't have any other questions for people. I doubt if there's any other questions from me.
Okay, Aminu is raising up his hand.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. Please, what is the difference between OSI model and the TCP/IP protocol?
The OSI layer, the OSI model, and the TCP/IP model. Okay.
Difference.
Now, what say?
Differences. There are differences.
Okay, the differences. Now, if you look at the OSI layer, I'm asking. I'm asking the question because it's probably that you know about TCP/IP and the OSI layer. So now, if you look at the OSI layer, what layer do you think TCP/IP actually falls under? Transport, right? Exactly. So now, what does that say about it? They come hand in hand. So now, trying to differentiate them, it's rather not needed, since when you see them in the OSI layer, the OSI layer is actually the basics to which the network actually works. So we cannot say this the similarities instead of saying differences. I don't know if that answers your question, right? Or if I made you even more confused.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm clear.
Okay. You're welcome. So any other questions? No other question? So when you see data,
so Rose is saying when you see
now converting of data.
Sorry.
Okay. Now converting of data in Wireshark, it depends. Actually, it depends on if you want to continue further analysis of this data. Well, I think, and I know Wireshark actually does a good work in actually making you understand your pickup and your pickup files, but you can decide to convert the data in case you see that, okay, these criminals actually hid a zip file, and you want to analyze particular zip file. Now you can convert it to hex dump, continue your analysis probably on your on your Linux terminal or any analysis system or tool that you want to actually use. So it depends. So I hope that answers the question, Rose. Did I answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, she said it does.
Okay. So I think
so thank you once again for this. Yeah. So thank you once again for this lovely section. I hope everyone learns one or two. So I don't know if Segun has anything to say.
Okay. So let me stop sharing my screen now and welcome
and
my
also
boss.
please the voucher.
Okay.
The voucher, throw more light because people want the voucher.
Okay, how do you want me to do it? Should I okay, now what you would do is you go on LinkedIn and then you type what you learned and tag Digital Security Village. Then we would pick from the person that actually has a more detailed explanation of my session, and then I'll forward the voucher to the Digital Security Village, in which they would send it to the person that gives a more detailed explanation of the class so far. So hope that answers all our questions of voucher. Hope we're cool with that.
Why don't you drop your LinkedIn also so that
my LinkedIn
they can tag
also.
you? Yeah, so they can tag you when they post.
All
so
right.
they will tag Digital Security Village and Fortune.
Yeah, Igili-A and Fortune. I'm coming. Let me open it. Let me see. I think it should be. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
Good evening. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Good evening.
I want to believe we're having a wonderful time, or we've had a wonderful time. I'm so sorry I could not join from the beginning. I had so many on table, so I had to take care of some stuffs. Right, it has been a wonderful one, and we promise that we are going to be sharing a Google form today, right, for the attendance purpose. But because of how tight my schedule was, we could not come up with that. So what we will do is, I don't know. I'm going to be dropping the group link, right? I'm going to be dropping the group link to the chat box now. So let us join. Anybody that have not joined the group should join. So I'll be sending the form, the Google form link, to the Telegram group, right? And people will be filling it. So that's what we use. That will not work. That will not work. Okay, let's do it this way, right? I will drop my email now, right? My personal email. So everybody that is on this call should reach out to me on email. Use it via email. Just tell me you were part of the class. Just send something to me as regarding the certificate. So I will use that to issue the certificate. So, and that was why I told people, please make it to this session today, so that I didn't even know that this will come up, right? Okay, so I'm going to be dropping my personal email now, so you can send me the email for the certificate. Then we'll be releasing the certificate very soon, right? You'll be having it in your emails. Okay. Yeah, this will be the end of the boot camp. I want to believe we've been able to learn a lot. Well, the feedback has been massive and has been great. And we promise that there are more boot camps that are coming. let me just announce here. The one we've been having next will be in December, and it will be bug hunting bootcamp. Bug hunting bootcamp. That's some very practical penetration testing and security research, stuff, right? So that's what we're having next by December, by God's grace, and some guys will be taking us through that, right? Okay, so yeah, if you have any other further question, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you have something you need clarification on, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would provide answer. If is something I cannot answer, I would direct you to the right place, right? Yeah, let me just put my personal email here. Yeah, the link to the recorded video, don't worry, as promised, we will work on the videos, the recorded videos, and then we will upload all the videos and the links. You see the announcements, you will see when we announce, right? So you will always get the recorded video. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't just watch and leave. At least the best you can do, you are getting these things for free. The best you can do is just hit the subscribe button. If that will be the only thing you'll be doing for us, we will really appreciate it, right? While you are trying to watch and get insights, also subscribe so that we can be able to reach more people, and then the video will go viral. Okay, yeah. So if there's no other thing, I think we've come to the end. I want to appreciate the facilitators today. They've really done great. Timothy taking investigating websites using OSINT, and then the reporting strategies. I was supposed to be the one to take, but I was in transit all through. I just got home, right? And Mr. Fortune, thank you so much for the wonderful session. Yeah, it's been a great one. So if there's no other thing, we'll be calling it a month. We'll be putting an end to it here. I'm Francisca, our host. Thank you so much. My official PA. Francisca is a great woman.
You're welcome.
Francisca is a great woman, and very mighty woman when it comes to project management, program coordination, and the rest. Doing well,
fun now. Coming down.
Right. Thank you so much for stepping in while I'm away. Right. Thank you, everybody. Great to have you on this boot camp. Your contribution to be here. If you are not here, we will not be here, right? So thank you so much. It's been a wonderful one. Thank you, everybody. We really, really appreciate you. And talk about it on LinkedIn. Be unapologetic about it. Take screenshots. Let us flood LinkedIn. Let them know that something is going on. Let them know that you've learned a lot the way you have learned it, right? So flood LinkedIn and tag me. Be unapologetic about it, right? Thank you so much, and have a great day. And please, one last thing, please. It is not just for knowledge purpose, right? Please put everything you have learned into practice. See, the one you can even do easily is the email analysis and the PCAP file. I know the rest might be very technical. Then that website investigation too should not be too technical for us, right? Put them into practice. You to sit down with your system and say, I want to do this thing. You can follow through the video the first time, then do it on your own. Then you can start, investigating websites and start putting articles online. Start challenging scammers and the rest of them. People will know you. They will know you are solving a problem, right? That is why we are here. We want to help put you, into the faces of people, so that we know that there's a greatness locked up, inside of you. And put that to work, and I believe that we all get there, right? Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
And Segun, I would like to add something. So let's not forget that next month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so that that their minds are prepared against next month. I don't thought I should just lay that out.
Okay, yeah. Next month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and Digital Security Village, in collaboration with Cyber Safety Media and Akande, we are rolling we'll be rolling some stuffs out. So just watch out. Don't worry, you'll be seeing us everywhere. And then Diary of Hackers too. They're in partnership with us. We are storming the 6 geopolitical zones, physical awareness. So just watch out. Make sure you participate. It's a time to, let the cat out of the bag and do a massive awareness, right? Okay. So please participate. When you see webinars, join. There's always something new to learn. Thank you for that, Mr. Fortune. So thank you. I don't want to hold anybody here. So we call it a day. We did not do opening prayer, so there's no need to do closing prayer. So everybody should go to their house.
Segun.
Thank you. Yes.
Segun, I want to ask a
Please,
question.
go ahead.
When would you? Yeah, please. So I really appreciate this platform. We really don't have an idea of what you guys. I'm sure some people don't have an idea of what you guys did. It is amazing. It is out of this world. And I want to ask a question. Is it possible to also get trainings on GRC in particular, or IT audits, or have you done it in the past?
Oh, yeah. That's a great suggestion. We've not done that in the past. That's why I said this boot camp is serious. So we will get there, right? We will get
please.
There. Of course, in short, that's one of my my specialty. I'm a cybersecurity risk analyst, So
it is
of course
awesome.
we can put every resources together and bring that, right?
It is awesome. I mean, I'm outside the country, and I can tell you what it takes to get what you have. People have no idea what you have done. They have no idea, but I do, because I've been there. So it is amazing. It is out of this world. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, yeah, of course. GRC, we will touch. That's why we say it's a focused learning, right? We will touch those parts. We are taking it bit by bit. We'll touch those areas. GRC, in fact, cybersecurity risk right now is common. is big.
It is hot cake.
And
you have no idea.
Hot cake.
It is amazing.
It is big. And
they are looking for people like, can you just come and work?
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
So yeah, we'll touch that. Thank you so much for that insightful contribution. Right. Thank you. So have a great day. Have a nice day till we meet next time. Thank you so much. Bye.